Hello, sir.
Hi Advai. Hi Sneha.
Hi, sir.
Hi Aditya. Yeah, Aditya not yet joined. Okay. Hi Hasni.
Sir, I have to attend another meeting at 8 p.m. today. So is that okay?
Yeah. Fine. Anyways, I'll be talking more on the programs only today.
Okay.
Okay. So
The programs are very easy to make.
Yeah. No, that's where Advai, when you practice, right, you'll become comfortable. So once you're comfortable, then it would be easy for you, in the next step. So let me call Anita also. Okay. Yeah, good evening to all of you. So today, right, I'm going to explain about the programs. So what you have learned so far, right? So we'll talk about those things, and then some questions. Some questions are very important for if you want to attend any interviews, right? This will be very useful. Okay, let me share my screen, and we'll be talking more on some missed out keywords, Java keywords, which is break and continue. Okay, fine. You all can see my screen, right? Yeah. So Sneha, when when it is time for your next meeting, right? You can drop off. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. So and by the way, are you practicing? I just want to hear.
Yeah. The real life example you showed last time, I started working on it my own.
Okay, sure. So good to hear that. Fine. So good evening, Anita.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Hi, Aditya. Hi, Aditya. Any questions from you, Aditya?
No, sir. Lately, I have not been practicing. I'll try to make a sometime.
Okay. So first of all, have you set up your environment or not?
Yes, sir. The very first day I set up it.
IntelliJ is there, and then it's working also, right? All the programs are running, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Sneha, how about you? Any you have set up the environment also, right?
Yes. That day itself I had set it. Yeah.
Programs also running, right?
Yes.
So are you trying the normal Java classes or the RESTful?
I'm trying the RESTful actually.
RESTful, you're able to compile and run the server, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good to hear.
Sir, so the classes are until when?
Okay, repeat again, Aditya.
The classes are until when? I mean, like how many days, how many weeks?
Okay, actually, by this month end, right? So we would be completing, the basics part. So actually, basics are all completed. So from, last week onwards, I started, giving you more hands-on experience, the programs. So we'll talk more on programs and, how to write a program. So that's how, it gives you some hands-on experience. Okay. So yeah, after that, I will see I'm going to explain whether we need to move ahead or we'll stop, and then after practicing again we can start some more classes if you're interested. Okay. So fine. Yeah, let's get into the questions. Okay, these questions are very important for interview. If you are attending any interviews, right, some of the questions are very important. So some questions you may know, some questions you may not know, because I haven't explained. So I take this as an opportunity to explain the the areas that I haven't gone and then explained. So yeah, first question to you I'll give it to Sneha. Syntax to declare the instance of the class.
Instance meaning what?
Instance means object. So instance and object both are more or less same. How do you create an object of a class? So take an example of employee object, right? So employee class. So I want to consume the functions that are already built in employee class. So how can you access the functions?
Okay.
Okay, let me explain. Yeah, Advai, you have any idea? How do we?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, please.
It is the class name space the custom name space equal to space the new keyword, then the class name parentheses and then semicolon.
Correct, perfect. So yeah, that is what I think we learned somewhere.
Recording in progress.
Okay, I think somewhere in let me search the whole project. Yeah, this is also one of the useful shortcut key. Control, Shift, and F. Control plus Shift plus F. You can search the whole project actually where we have declared. Yeah, employee is here. Okay, I don't want to search here. Is equal to new. Yes, you see this, Sneha. You see this. String buffer is a class, right? So how we are creating an instance of the string buffer class using new keyword. This is the syntax. So we'll mention the class name. We'll define our own custom name is equal to, and then new keyword. And after new keyword, again, the class name is followed. Okay. Now, using this object, we can make use of the functions that are written inside this class, right? So whatever functions are available in string buffer, right? All this, constructors, character at code point, length. So all these functions, right? How you can access append using the object. So you see, append is a function which is written in string buffer. How we are accessing? We are accessing using the object. So how we create an object? Using new keyword like this. So class name, customized name is equal to new, and then you can give again the same class. Okay, open parenthesis and close parenthesis, then semicolon. Fine. So this answers the first question. Okay. So now second question is already there. So I'll expect Hasni to answer this. Hasni, you there?
Yeah.
Can you answer the second one?
Byte, short, long, float, double, boolean, and char are Java primitive data types.
Perfect. Very good. So the third question also to you. I'll ask the third question and fourth question to you. Or fourth question I'll give it to Aditya. So third question you explain. So how to find the minimum and maximum values of the type of primitive type. Like you take an example of in byte. So what is the formula or logic to get the minimum value and maximum value for the type?
For byte, minimum value is -1 to 8, and maximum value is 127.
No, correct. How do you derive? So what I'm asking is, how do you derive that value? Okay. Let me explain in Notepad. You see here. So byte is usually how many? What is the size of this?
8.
8 bits, right? Byte is of 8 bits. Means you have to take 2's complement, right? So the value is the negative is like 2 to the power of 7. So power we usually mention with this 2 to the power of
Science and then that's it.
2 to the power of
7.
8.
correct, right?
Oh yeah.
So this is usually the calculation. How do you calculate the minimum? So minimum is this and maximum value is this. So this is plus. So 2 to the power of 8. So what is the 2 to the power of 8? You can see 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2.
So in scientific calculators written x to the power of y.
See 128. So this gives 128, negative 128, and this gives 127. So means minus 128 to 127, right? Minus 1 is there, right? So I explained this one, right? So similarly, the same formula applies to short also. Short is of how many bits?
16.
Perfect. And how about char?
1.
No, char is
No.
also
16.
Yeah, 16.
perfect. So
I thought it was Boolean.
okay, now char, and then after short, what will come? Okay, I'll just move this char down. Int.
Int.
So int is how many bits?
32.
Correct. Int is 32 bits.
Then long is 64.
Long is equal to 64 bits. So you all know these things, right? So similarly, for this, when you know how many bits that the short can store, right? 16 bits. So if I ask you what's the minimum value, then you know, right? Minus 2 to the power of 16 to plus 2 to the power of
15.
15 minus 1. Okay, so the same formula applies here also. Okay, so in here, you see, I just copy paste. Here, what I do, instead of 16, I'll make it as 32. Instead of 15, I'll make it as
31.
31. Okay, here, I'll make it as 64. And here, I'll make
63.
it as 63. That's it. You calculate this value, you know what is the minimum value and what's the maximum value. Okay, so fine. What is the default value for all this?
0.
0. Perfect. Cool. So let's move on to the next one. Oh yeah, I think fourth one I already answered. So yeah, Aditya, for you again, I'll expect you to say the answer. Fourth one. Can you answer the fourth one? So bit is equal to, bit is Boolean, right? So Boolean is how many bits? Aditya there. Aditya? Hello.
So can I say
Okay, yes.
1 bit?
Yeah, Boolean is 1 bit. Boolean is 1 bit, okay. And then char?
16.
Int?
64. No, 32.
Yeah, int is 32. Long?
64.
Float?
32. 32. Yeah.
Double?
64.
Yes. So short?
16.
Byte?
8.
Perfect. So if you know that size, right, you are most of the minimum and maximum values and default values you know already. Okay, you can calculate. Fine. Why is why is it important? Byte, bits, right? Computer is full of bytes and bits only, because anything, if you buy any computer or anything, right? So they'll ask you, so how much of storage you want. You'll say it in MB or GB, right? So MB is megabytes, GB is gigabytes. So like that.
Then
And
this
now it is,
terabyte.
yeah. So all the data types that we are using, right? So it uses those bits actually, some of those bits. Okay. So that's why the laptop, or the device, or the storage device becomes expensive. Like if you buy any iPhone, right? So 64-bit is very less expensive than 128 GB of iPhone. So there will be the features wise more or less same, only the size would be difference. So even if you purchase any accounts in Google Photos or cloud, right? So they charge
Yeah,
based on the
15
storage.
GB free storage.
Yes, they charge based on the storage actually. So that's why storage is very important, and that storage leads to the granular level. When you see at the granular level, it is like bytes and bits only. So bytes and bits is nothing but you can better understand the data types here. So once you see these data types, right? So you may know, like how many bits and how much storage. In other way, you can ask like this. So byte. So what's the storage for byte? You can say 8 bits. What is the storage for short data type? You can say 2 bytes or 16 bits. So everything we say it in bytes, right? So either you can say it in lower data types. You can say it as bits, and the bigger, like int is 4 bytes, long is 8 bytes, like that. Okay, fine. Now yeah, the rest are all quite
So can I say that I think I know the fifth one?
okay. Explain.
The Java is an independent language because it uses the JVM
Right.
to
Exam. Okay, what will happen is here I want to explain one thing. So you see here, whenever I write any code in this source code, right? You see, when I'm running here, right? I see I'm running it here. What's going to happen in the background is it is building the code actually. So it is trying to compile this files actually, whatever Java classes are there, right? It is compiling it into dot class files. I'm going to show you where exactly the dot class files are located. So you see a build folder here in the left side.
Yes, sir.
So just open this. So whatever classes you have here, right? You have
Oh,
written
in the
your code.
classes folder.
So everything will be inside these classes. And so you see Java, right? Whatever you have written in Java, so all those contents will be in classes. Whatever you have added the files in resources, right, will be in these resources. You see here resources has got main, and then you see static templates, you see, and you see the Java. So when you go to Java, you follow the same packages, Java, and then you'll see sg com, ipasmo dot learn, and then you see controller here. So you see what is the extension of this
Not class.
class. Here we'll see, you go to controller, you can see math.controller.
So will it open?
Yeah, I'll show you. So if you try to open it, right? If you try to open it, so now, yeah, you see it is decompiled actually. Your IntelliJ is trying to decompile. You see, can you read out this one? Decompiled dot class file, right? So actually, whatever code you have written like this in normal English, right? So all this content will be in bytecode format. So let's show it in the I'll show you in the Explorer. So now you see this is a build folder. I'm inside the build folder, and you see all the dot class files. So you can try to open it in the notepad and see what exactly, you know, the code looks like. See, it's all some, you know, byte codes. The content is all byte code, which we don't, it's not in a human readable format actually. So we don't know exactly what has been written inside. So who will understand this code?
Computer.
Byte code? No, in our specific term.
JVM.
JVM, exactly. JVM understands actually, you know. This part is all understood by JVM. Okay. So dot class file is for the JVM to, you know, do the processing. So it will understand this and then it will convert it into the computer understandable format. Okay. And from there it will run the program. Okay. So all the dot class files are like that. So now the point is why we are saying independent. If you see here, why is Java platform?
Because it depends on the inbuilt JVM, not the machine.
Okay. What I'm trying to say here is, listen, when I build a file here, a dot class file. So what's going to happen is now you have your own laptop, right? So what I do,
Yeah.
if I give you this class, I mean, like, you know, utility, let's take an example of utility. So if I give you this class, one of this class, and if I ask you to run, your JVM will easily run. Means it is independent of, you know, what computer you are using, right? So
Machine independent.
yeah, which is, you know, in which environment you are in, it doesn't matter actually. The platform, you can run these programs in Linux also, Unix also, other operating systems as well, because this is the code understood by the JVM. So the only thing is, like, you know, your computer must have JVM. If your computer is having JVM, then that JVM will understand this. So that's why we say independent platform. Okay, Java is a platform independent language because we write once and then it can be executed in anywhere. Okay, Anita, this one is you can actually, you know, take this example when you get this kind of question. Okay, so now let's talk about the local variables and instance variables. So who want to explain? Anita, you want to explain? What's the difference between local variables and instance
So can I
variables?
say
Instance.
Local variables and instance variables of a class.
object variable.
Both variables are declared within the class outside method.
Okay. Okay. Let me. Okay. I'll pass it to Advay.
So, like the local variables and instant variables, the main difference is that the instance variables are located in the Java heap memory, but the
Okay. No, not that.
The instance
asking.
variable, when the instance is created,
Okay. No, I'll explain that. So
so is it that the local variables is made from a pre built like data type and a reference like the instance variables are derived from a class or object.
no. Let me explain. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. This is a class, right? So in this class, whatever variables, class level variables that we have declared, right? So all these variables are called
instance variable.
instance variables. Okay, all these variables are instance variables. As the term local means what? Within the
Inside the
Locally
method,
available.
Yes, let's take an example. This is a function, right? In this function, what is this? This is a parameter that is declared and passed to this function, right? So this name is called as local variable.
local variable.
So this name, the scope of this variable is within this. So outside you cannot access at all. Whereas you see, let's take an example here. I'll write one function, okay? public, and then I'll just mention like employee, and then here get details. Okay. So what is this? This is a function, right? So in this function, what I will do, I'll create an object here. Okay. Now I created an employee object.
You.
You see, method call expected means what? This one. Okay, now I created an employee object. Now what I do, E1, sorry, let's take E only. So this dot name, okay, or instead of this, what we do, int age is equal to 20, and then name is equal to, no, for now I'll just keep it as empty. Okay, and then salary is equal to 0.0L, sorry, D. Now you see, now here I will further process actually, E dot set age. Do we have age? Okay, age is not there, so I'll just make it as gender, and then I'll make a default as young. This will be cat. Okay, now set gender of gender. Okay, E dot set name of name. E dot set salary of salary. Okay, yeah. So instead of this, I'll just make it as now you see. So now these the variables here, right? GEN and NAM and SAL. These are called as local variables. This is local variable, this is local variable, and this is local variable. So the scope of this variable, right, you can access within this function only. You cannot access outside. So whereas you see here, now E dot set salary of this dot salary. Now this is an
Global variable.
yeah, using the instance variable. Okay. Yeah, this is an instance variable. Instance variable means what? It is at class level, declared at class level. You see, it is written in the class. Okay. In a simpler term, right? In a simpler term, I'll explain. Now you see, what variables are these?
Instance.
Instance variable.
Instance variables. And now what about this one? Okay, I'll just now this is a function, right? Within this function, I declared
Local
these
variable.
variables. These are all local variables. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. I hope you understood, right? Any confusion, you just let me know. Okay. Okay, fine. I'll just restore it back. Now,
So
so now difference between equals. Yeah, these three, right? These three, I think,
so I told the difference between equals function and equal.
Or can I also try? Maybe?
oh yeah, yes, Neha, yeah.
So I think the double equal sign means you're assigning a variable to a value, right? But
No. No. So double equal to. So in the
Comparison operator.
right. So let's write a normal main class. Okay. This is it in controller only. Let me create a class. So what I was telling here is difference, right? Equal to. So is equal to is an
Assignment operator.
assignment. Okay, Sneha. You see, double equal to is condition checking. Means this one will be, it will assign a value to a variable. This one will check whether it is equal to or not. Okay. So means 5. Okay, int a is equal to 5. Now I'll say a is equal to 5. You see here. So now in this case, what is this double equal to represents?
We are comparing.
Comparing, yeah, the value of a. What is the value of a?
5.
5. So 5 is equal to 5.
It will
Yeah.
Yes, correct. It is true or false, right? So double is equal to is a condition that we check. So suppose I change the value here 4. Now double is equal to will actually return false because 4 is not equal to 5. So it fails and then it goes to the else block. Okay. Now, what is the difference between double equal to and there is a equals function actually?
Yes, sir, the connected.
So equals. Yes, Advay.
I think the equal to means a comparison, but then the dot equals means the type of the wave. Like
Okay. In simpler terms, in very simpler terms.
Yeah.
So you remember this. Do not forget this. Okay. So if you miss out this part, it's like you're going to commit a mistake. So if you remember this, it will never going to your program will never fail. So double is equal to represents comparison with the data type, like int to int you can compare, string to string you can compare, but still it will fail actually in some cases. So when you are having string object, better to use equals. String is an object, right? So when you are comparing okay, this is an int, right? Suppose let's take an example of char. Okay, character young. Now this character, so character is also fine because this is a primitive type. Now let's take an example of string. String s is equal to ONA. Okay, string s2 is equal to ONA. Now tell me if these two are equal or not equals. S1
dot equals.
S2. So now tell me this one will work or not. S1 is equal to S2. S1 is an object, right? S1 is an object of type what?
String.
String is an object, right? String is an object. But you see, what did I say? Whenever you initialize or create a string like this, what will happen?
It will go to the string pool.
So in string pool, what will it do? In string pool, both if the value is same, right, it will create in the string pool only, right?
Yeah.
So there will be only one location where you have one, and then this
So they
refers
have
to the same.
same.
S2 refers to the same, right? Same location. So in this case, S1 is equal to S2. Okay, instead of this, I'll just make it as like this. Okay, now let's take an example here. S3. So instead of this, what I'll do,
Now it goes to Java heap memory.
yeah, correct. Now S1 is equal to S3. So now try to figure it out. So both are string objects only. This is an object, this is an object, but the values here are stored in the string pool. The value here is stored in the heap. So even though the values are same, the value here is 1, the value here is 1.
They're in different locations.
So in this place, you have to see what will be the value here. Okay, let us see here. Yeah, this one, I need to print this. And let me make an else also. Okay, instead of this, I'll just make it as this is equals, and this is not equals. Okay. So here also same. Okay, now guess what will be the output in this case and what will be the output in this case. So who wants to guess? Hasni, you want to guess?
So can I guess?
Yeah.
I think for the first one it will work, but the second one it won't work.
Means work and not works means what?
Means like S1 is equal to S2, it will work, but the second if else condition it will not work.
Means in the first case, yes. I also I also align with your thinking. So what I also I assume is the first one will be success, means S1 is equal to true. This is a true case, means equals should be printed, whereas in this case S1 is having a value as 1, but S3 is also having a value as 1, but they both are in different locations, right? So it should print not equals in the second case. Let's run this program. Okay, yes, your guess is right. So first case is first case it went into the equals. Second one went into not equals. Now let me show you the difference actually. Let me write the same conditions here in another if else block. Here what I will do, I'll just use the string s1 dot equals of s3.
S3.
So I said this equals is for object
Object
comparison, right? And this double is equal to is always for primitives or strings, string in string pool. Okay.
Are the primitive data types also in string pool?
No. No, primitive is here. Okay. Where is that? Yeah. So this is a primitive data type. Okay. So what I mean to say here is double equal to, you have to use it for primitive data types, and you can use it for strings in the string pool, and equals must always be used for object comparison. Okay. So now let's see.
Would it work the other way around if we wrote if s3 dot equals
Yes,
s1?
yeah. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Both, either you can write inside or left side. It doesn't matter. Okay. I'll show you. Let's run this program. And now, what's your guess?
Equals.
Equals, not
Last
equals,
one.
equals.
Correct. So see here. The last one is, both the strings are equal. It compares, when you use this equals, right, it compares the value. Okay, the value. Fine. When you use double equal, right, it compares, with the location actually. Okay. Fine. Now let's, yeah, I think we understood this part. So whenever, you can apply this equals for any kind of object. Now let me show you. String buffer. Yes. Okay. SB1. New string buffer of empty. Okay. Now let's see. I'll write the same. So now you see this is an object. When it is an object, what will happen? This will be stored in a different location and this will be stored in a different location, right? Two different locations. So now we are comparing SB1, which is the location. It's not the value. It is a reference. Reference means the location. So means like an index, okay? The room. So room 1 is equal to empty now. Room 2 is equal to empty now. So this one is for room 1 and this one is for room 2. So JVM internally creates a location like this. Now, if you are comparing, yeah, this refers to what? SB1, right? SB1 is equal to here and SB2 is equal to here. Now the reference actually, SB1 is the reference, means the location. So the location of this empty string. So empty string is located in room 1 and another empty string is located in another location, which is room 2. So this one I'm just giving the names, okay? Don't exactly, relate. So just for your understanding, I'm just giving it as room 1 and room 2. So now if you are comparing SB1 equals to SB2, means what? Room 1 is equal to room 2. Is room 1 equal to room 2?
Yeah.
How?
No.
It is not equal, right? Even if
Yes.
the value is same, the value is empty, and then this room 2 is also having an empty. So the values are different. Sorry, the values are same, but the location is different. The room 1 location is different and room 2 will be located in somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
So SB1 refers to room 1, SB2 refers to room 2 in this case, because you have declared two different variables, right? Two different objects. So one object refers to room 1 and another object refers to room 2. So now if you see here, what it should print?
Not equal.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No, it should go to not equals.
Not equal.
Because two different locations, right?
Yeah.
You see, in the last case, where did it go? It went into
Not equal.
even though value, even though the value is same, it went into the not equals, because it is trying to compare room 1 with room 2. Room 1 is like a location, okay? That locations it will compare. Now let's try another one. Now what I do? String buffer SB3. Okay, I'm going to give another SB1. I will assign the reference of room 1 to reference of SB3.
So now it would be same, right?
So in this case, what will happen? So now we declared SB3, right? So let's see SB3. SB3 is equal to SB1, right? We assign like this, right? Means SB1 is assigned to what? SB3. Now what will be SB1?
Room 1.
Correct. SB1 will be room 1. So room 1, and which contains empty
Nothing.
value. Okay. So now if you run this one, so this is SB1 and SB3. So where it should go now? In this case,
Equals.
in this case, it should go to equals. So run this program. It went into equals, right? So now let's take an example of here. I passed. So I wrote something. I wrote a value here. So what will the what will be in this case? Anyways, it is both are two different references, so it will not be equal.
This will still be equal.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, yeah. This one, in this case, it will still be equal because the value is still the same. Okay, and the reference is also. Sorry, we should not talk about value. Sorry, we should talk about reference when we are talking about equals, right? Always talk about the reference only. Okay, reference is nothing but the location where that value is stored. Fine. So now you understood, right, the difference actually here, the difference between double equal to and then equals. So equals, you should always, equal should always be used for
Objects.
reference. Yeah, object references. Okay, now let's take an example of, yeah, I want to show you one more thing. Instead of equals, we also have one more function. Okay, so one more function.
Equals
So,
ignore case.
yeah, equals ignore case. So let me explain that part also. This is another one. Okay, what I am doing here, let's string ss1 is equal to, so here in this case I'll mention O and E. Okay, now in the another ss2, what I will do, I will write the small case. So here ss1 is equal to ss2. So now in this case, what will happen? SS1, okay, yeah, we haven't used this one, right? So I'll just make the same values here. So SS1 and SS2, right? Both having the referring to the same location, right? So if it refers to the same location, equals will always be success. So let's see. Here in this case, right? You can either use equals,
The equal.
yeah, both actually. Here in this case, it will work because you're referring in the string pool, right? So, or can SS1 is equal to SS2. This one is also success actually, either this or this. So this one should be used for the string pool. Okay, this one will equals must always be used for objects. Now let's explain the equals ignore case. Okay, now 1. So both SS1 have the value as ONE, SS2 is having
Oh, so it will ignore the cases, the
yes,
uppercase
yes.
alone.
Yeah, correct. So let's to show you difference, I'll do like this. Capital O, small n, and capital E. And this one is small o, small n, small e. Okay, let's make it as n. Now you see here O and E are caps here, and O and E are small in this case, SS2. Now if I try to run this program, it will be
Not equals.
not equals. You see, not equals. Now what I do, both are
Equals
having the same
ignore.
letter. So when you can use equals ignore case, means it will come ignore the case. When it ignores the case, the value of this one will become ONE and this one will become ONE. So when it is ONE and ONE, so both are in the same case. Then it will
So
be,
temporarily it will treat it as a small case only.
yes, internally it will does actually. If you want to see the implementation, you go inside and see. Okay, so that is the internal implementation. So you see length, it will check, after that lower case, blah blah blah, so many things. Okay, fine. You can find what is the implementation written already. Okay, you can check that. So you see a lot of internal implementation. Okay, fine. So we'll not get into this. Now we'll see. We are ignoring the case. Can tell me where this function will be, equals ignore case, where it is written?
String.
String class, correct. Because SS1 is of type string, right? So equals ignore case will be in string class. Now let's see. Last time it returned not equals, right? Now it returns equals. Okay, now you understood about these two, right? Differences between these two. So now Anita can explain when to use equals and when to use double equals. Equals function and equal to equal to.
Equal to is for primitive
And
string full.
String literal.
String literal.
String literals, okay. And whereas equals
is for object types.
Yeah, objects.
Equals and equals ignore case.
Yeah, when you want to compare the references, then you have to use equals. Okay, fine. I think you understood this one. Now, so the last but one. How do we write infinite loop using the for, while, and do while? So I want to run.
So I think I know for while and do while, but not for.
Okay, so before explaining this, right? So I just want to go and explain this part first. Okay, now break. So what do you mean by break in general terms?
It's used to break a loop.
Yeah, when you are riding on the bicycle, you apply the brakes, right? The meaning is same. So break means I want to break and come out of this loop. So break is used for that. Means if you are inside any loops, right? So you can come out of the first loop, okay, and continue. So it is other way. Continue means what? It will exit from the current iteration. So like if you are in the fifth iteration, right? So the fifth iteration will be stopped, and the sixth, it will proceed to the next iteration, which is 6. Okay, let me show this in an example. Okay, by taking this as an example. Where did we go? Oh, sorry. Right, by explaining this one, infinite loop, because infinite loop is continuous, right? So my program will be continuously running. I will not be able to stop it. So now let's, yeah, I'll just make a default value int I. I'll just mention int I is equal to the first value. I'll make it as 0, and I'll not give anything. I'll just put semicolon, semicolon. So if I don't specify any values, what it will do? It will keep on running. You won't be able to stop.
Yeah, two semicolons are required when we write.
So I is equal to I plus 10. Okay. So I'm incrementing the value of I.
So if I reaches a certain point, you will break them.
Yes, correct. True. So now what I do, it is continuous, right? So means I value will become 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. It will go on continuously like that, right? So up to how many iterations it will go? Any idea? Forever, right? Infinite loop. But in this case, how long it will go? So I'll print it also. Yes, so as out. There is a bug in this program. Okay, by the way, bug, right? Bug is nothing but, in computer terms, we say it as a code issue. There is an issue in the code. So when there is an issue, we call it as bug in the system. Okay, there is a bug in this system, in this
We
program.
can use debug mode.
No. But yeah, you can debug. Ultimately, you can debug. So when I run this program, Anita, can you say like, does my program run or not? Guess, Anita.
No.
Okay, yeah, your answer is no. How about you, Sneha?
I also think it doesn't.
It doesn't. Why?
There's no expression.
Huh?
There's no expression.
Because of what?
It looks invalid. I don't know.
Okay, try. Okay. Now I'll give you.
There's no expression for going.
No, I let me give you an idea. So what is the third question and fourth question? Third question is, read out the third question.
The minimum and maximum values in Java.
Yes. So what is the variable we are taking here?
Int.
What is the minimum value?
Oh.
So what we are doing here? What we are doing? We are
incrementing it by 10.
So how long it will increment?
As when it reaches maximum value.
Right. That is what I'm guessing. See, this is the this is how real programmers must think actually. Boundary conditions. So we will never, most of the time, right? We'll never get into these things. So a real and intelligent programmer will have to think about the boundary conditions. So based on that, we have to change this actually. Okay, let me type byte. Okay. Yeah, anyways, byte is equal to, I'll mention this one. Okay, I is equal to I plus 2. What is it throwing? Yeah. So I plus 2, it is considering it as int. So that's why it's not identifying. So or you can make it as and
typecast.
Yeah, you have to typecast it actually. So okay, let's take an example instead of this. Yeah, we are running short, right? So let me make it as int only. Okay. Okay. So now let me run this program. Okay, let's see whether it really breaks or not. It will run and then break at one point. So the maximum is 3, 2, 7, 6, 7.
If we had written into 10.
Correct. So let's see here in where is it? Okay. So let's see an example here. Okay. See here, it goes up to this value. So now we are in how many? Okay, that's why now we'll instead of this, I'll stop this program. Okay.
Maybe like increase the increment.
Yeah, here I'll make it as this one. Okay. Let's take an example of this. 0, 0, 0. Okay. I'll make it further 0. Now let's see. So I'm going to run this program. What happened? It's going in minus.
Other direction.
Yeah, this is like, we need to investigate this further. Why it is taking negative numbers.
Because the
Okay.
starting value is positive from.
No. We have initialized this value is like this, right? Initial value is this one. Okay, let's. Yeah. So I know I just wanted to explain that, but let's see actually, if it should not go to negative. So what I wanted to explain here is let's make an go to the
So I
beginning.
think it already reached its max value and started decrementing, man.
Yeah, could be that. So we'll have to investigate that. Okay, I don't want to go into that. So we'll do it later. I'll do it in the background later. So I just want to explain it here. Okay, if I is equal to 100, I will continue. If 100 is
Skip
there, right?
100.
Yeah, or we can make it as 100 equal to is continue. If it reaches I equal to 200, then
Break.
break. Okay, in simpler terms, we'll do this way. For 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 5 and then 6. So let's see now.
So it's going to skip 5 and directly go to 6 and then 6 into
Yeah,
6.
from 6 it will exit actually. So correct. I'll comment out this one, and then you see it goes, and then I'll make it as 8. Okay, what happened? I'll go to 8. Now let's see. So what happened? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 it is continuing, and the next value is 6, right? So 6 it is not successful, so it's going further. 7 it's going further. 8. So when it appears 8, right, it is breaking. Okay. So 5 is like it continues up to, because we are printing it here, right? That's why you're not able to figure it out. Now let's see. I printed after this condition. So in this case, it should not print 5. Okay. Now let's see. See here, in this case, it doesn't return 5 because continue is there, right? So it is going to next iteration already. So when it goes to next iteration, I is not 5. So it goes here and then it prints 6 directly. And then by the time, when it reaches 8, so it should come out of this loop. So it's coming out of this loop, right? So like this, you can try multiple options, right? Like this. So means, use for loop, and then within that for loop, another for loop. Okay. And then break from if this one is j, right? J equal to 5, then break. Then otherwise here, int j is equal to 1, j less than 5, j plus plus. So the same thing applies here also. So, but in case of j, you can make it as another variable, and then another variable. Now you see.
So I is already defined in the scope.
Where? Here. See, here we already defined. So local variables, complain like this because the scope is within that, right? So that's fine. Okay, I, this one, k. So make it as k, and then k. So here you can make it as
So it will not print 5, it will print 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this.
I plus, sorry, this one will be K plus J. As you make it a string, just make it a dummy string here to concatenate, or you can make use of string dot value of. So means it will calculate this value and then convert it to a string value. See, it is saying it's not needed in this case. Okay, I want to append it, right? So appending is like this. And now you see. So for the first iteration, yeah, here 1 1 1 2 1 3 1 4 1 5 1 5 it didn't print because it exited from this loop, and then the first condition will increment. So 2 1 2 2 2 3 2 4, and 3 1 3 2 3 3 3 4, and 4 1 4 2 4 3 4 4. Yeah, here you see you can give like this. So means what is happening here is first the two loops, right? One loop within another loop. This loop is within another for loop. What is going to happen here is K will be 1. So when K is 1, it is going inside this for loop. So when it goes inside this for loop, it will execute this whole for loop. How many times? 4 times, because the length is 5, less than 5, right? So less than 5 means it started with index 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is less than 5. This condition fails. So for every 4 times of this, right? So for every one iteration, this inside for loop will be iterating 4 times. So that's how, first index you see K value is 1, and then J is 1. If you want to have good idea, right, you can just make add this part. K is equal to plus here, and then J is equal to, now you see what's the value of K and J. See, when the value of K is 1, 1 1 1, you see value of K is 1 1 1 1. So the iteration of the inside for loop is happened 4 times. K is equal to 1, J is equal to 1 2 3 4, like that. K is equal to 2, and inside loop will be executed 4 times. When K is equal to 3, inside loop will be executed 4 times. K is equal to 4, the same. So why 4 times K is equal to? Because K will exit at 5, value 5, because of this condition. Okay, fine. So let me explain to the okay, this part, the last one, I will be explaining it in the next class. Okay, constructor overloading is quite big actually, so I'll explain in little, very simpler terms. Now we understood about break and continue, right? Okay, so
Yes,
you
sir.
try to see, like, when you can use continue and when you can use break. So for making use of these two keywords, right, I have given programs. Okay, this part actually like last week, so I did not do much progress on this because this is quite complex. So I want to take it in the next level actually. So now this is very important. So this is a practice work for all of you. So this is like brain boosters. So those who are interested in mathematical calculations, and then if you are interested to think, right, then this is the best place actually, the practice work. You see now, write a program to solve the below problem statements. So let's see first question. Write a function to return an array of size 100 with even numbers starting from 0. Okay, starting from 0 as its value. So what do you mean by this? Sneha, do you understand the first question?
Yeah, so the size, okay, is it like, it's a one-dimensional array?
Yeah, it is a program actually. Inside a program, you write one function. Okay,
Yeah.
within that function, you have to declare an array. Okay, take it as an int array. Okay, So that int array should be of size how much? 100. So the array size should be of 100. You should declare an array of size 100. So you know how to declare, right?
Yeah.
So last week, I think I explained here where okay, let's see here. Control Shift F.
No, sir, it's int square bracket, a new int.
Okay, somewhere file operations. Yeah. So in the file, you should not use this. You should use something like this. Okay, something like this. So you have to create the size here of 100. Okay, and then you have to store in each index, right? You have to store a value starting from 0 to it will keep on incrementing. So what numbers you have to store? Even numbers. So 0th index will have 2 starting from 0th index will be 2. The first index would be the value 4, and then 6, and then 8, and then 10, 12,
And
like
it
that.
is starting
So
from
we can use it with for loop.
Yeah. That's why this program, right? When you write this program, you'd be using for loop. You'd be using an array. You'd be making use of continue or break. Okay, you'd be making use of those 2 keywords also. Fine.
it
So you
says
understand?
you mean to
Yes.
say, starting from 0 as its value, so then the index should be 0 for 0.
Yeah. You can make it as you can take it as 2, because 0 cannot be the even number, right? So even number starts with 2, right?
Yeah.
So starting from 2, so 0th index will have value as 2, and then you see how 100 even number. Basically, like what you need to do is 100 even numbers you have to identify and store it in the array, right?
Yes, sir.
So you try to think about this program if you can write. Otherwise, you help, you ask for help in the group chat. I'll give you some hints. The next one, write a function which takes the above array. So whatever array you have created, right? So you have to pass that array to another function. Okay. So that function, what that function will do, that function will start processing that. So what processing you need to do? The value of multiplication of its index and its value. So what it does is a of 4. I gave some example here. Okay, assume that a of 100 you are passing to the second one, right? So the values are something like this: 2, 4, 6, 8, right? If considering 4 as the size. Now your processing logic should be something like this. So you have to identify the index, and that index should be multiplied with its value, like this: 0, and the value is 2. 0 into 2, the value is 4. Sorry, 0. 2 into 0 is 0. Similarly, for
So
4,
I
right?
think I have an idea on how to do this.
Yes. You all may have idea, but when you put it on the document, right? When you start writing, right? Your brain starts thinking lot of options, actually multiple options, multiple directions. So the program may not be same for everyone, so the output will be same. You may follow different approach, Sneha may follow different approach, Anita may follow different approach, but output must be same. Okay, what will be the output? You have to see 8, right? 8 is at which index? Third index. Third index. So 8 3s are 24, so it should print 24 at its place. So this is second program. So any questions on this one, the second program?
No, sir. Very easy.
Anita, how about you?
Okay, no problem.
You got any idea, like how to solve this, right? Okay, Hasini, you?
I have some more of idea.
Okay, so fine. Hasini, you stay after this class. I'll try to sort out your issue. Okay. Yeah, and the third one is write a string operations for variable with value I pass. Okay, I declare a variable with its value as like this, P caps. Now you have to write a program to print all these 6 items. So what are they? Print the last character and first character. You have to combine together. So you have to combine together and print it. Last character and the first character. Okay, this is first one. Second statement is the reverse order. So you have to print this. It means, in this case, right, what will be the output?
Slicing.
For A, the output would be O and I. Okay, the second one, what will be the output? Output will be O, M, S, A, P, I will be the second one. And the third one, print the characters in odd index places. So odd is what? The first one is 0. Second index is, the second one is at index 1, right? So P is at 1. So 1 is considered as odd number. So it should print PSO. So the third one should print PSO. And the next one in the even index. Even index is like, you can print IAM. So IAM for the fourth one. And E and F is pretty simple. So print all characters in uppercase and lowercase. So P is capital, right? So everything should be printed in IPASMO and IPASMO, all in small and all in uppercase. So any problem, you can just, any doubts or any hints you need, you can just, message on the group. I'll try to help you all.
Sir, I wrote the code for the second one already.
Okay. You send me in the chat group. Okay. Only to me, so that I'll try to see. Okay, and then I'll recommend something if
Yes, sir, I'm
not
sending it.
correct. Okay. Yeah, that's it from my side. So anything we'll discuss in the next class. Okay, we'll disconnect, and then Hasni, you'll connect back again. Okay. Yeah. See you in the next class. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.